start with an introduction of the dockyard to give you guys an idea as to why the dockyard is built here in English Harbor. Now we'll talk about the buildings, the cultural aspects, what the buildings are used for back then as to what they're used for now. So the Nelson's Dockyard, it is a principal British naval repair station, and it was originally built at 1725 as a careening station and a hurricane refuge. Now the dockyard, it saved the expenses and dangers of His Majesty's ships so that they didn't have to travel 6 weeks from here to back to England and come back. So that's 12 weeks in total. With the British, they could be able to stay here in the Caribbean islands from Antigua. That means they basically could protect the sugar trade, which was new at the time in the 1700s. So these Caribbean islands, they are sugar islands because this is where many of the sugar, molasses, and rum was brought from. It attracted French, Spanish, pirates, British. They all came down here to take over. But the difference with the British is when they came here, they knew that they were going to take all the sugar and then they're going to leave Antigua. So what they did, they decided to do something a little bit more, which is to build over 150 forts in the island to protect it, as to also build the dockyard and support it, and support Antigua in general. Okay? So the reason for them building the dockyard in English Harbor is pretty significant, because we have a harbor that's close by. It's called Falmouth Harbor, and it's more bigger. That's where the British first was. However, they don't have any land supporting the front half of it. So that means when it's hurricane season, which is now until November, if a hurricane comes in August, most of the boats that are over there are going to be destroyed. So they decided they're going to come in here since it's more protected by all these surrounding hills, and plus you have the advantage of the apexes, which means that you could watch the entire island. Right? So we passed through those white gates, and in the past they were kept closed and heavily guarded. The guards, the soldiers, these were the men that were coming from England as soldiers. However, the people that were working on the plantations and on the ships, they were the enslaved Africans, and they were the laborers. So they kept these gates closed and guarded so that they couldn't leave. They had a smaller door inside of that gate so that they could leave. Right? But it starts as a gate and it goes into a wall. So if you look behind the dockyard, you see a high wall, and that means they couldn't really leave. Behind of the dockyard is called middle ground. That's where the slaves used to live. So it's similar to the traditions we practice now, when it's like you work, go to work, go back home, practice your own religion. That's the same thing here. So basically, the slaves, they came in, they work, and then they go back here. Okay? But they weren't allowed to leave the premises or you would be punished.